Hello, welcome to my first video posting. Sorry that this is audio only. My webcam is not working correctly as of now, but hopefully that will be fixed in the future. Anyway, the point of this video is to learn or at least how the ejective sound in Navi, based on what I was able to deduce from watching the movie several times and just from interviews and stuff of the cast talking and whatnot. Anyway, hopefully you're all navigating from my Facebook page, Learn to Speak Navi. If you are not, if you just found this video on YouTube and you'd like to have an opportunity to learn this awesome language, I recommend that you, if you have a Facebook account, that you follow my page, and I do daily grammar lessons and whatnot. But enough about that, we're going to go on to the ejectives. Now, there are three ejectives in Navi. And they are denoted by TX, KX, and PX. Now, these all act as their own syllable. So, the first thing you need to know is that they do not need any vowels or anything like that. They can just stand alone. Okay? Now, there's a couple different ways that you make them. First, we're going to focus on the TX. The TX sound is made by putting your tongue. I put it at depending on how strong I want the sound, and you guys should enunciate it first. I put my tongue between my teeth to enunciate, but really more at the bottom of my top teeth. And you're going to pull it in while opening your mouth, making sure your throat is closed, and you're going to make a little clicking sound. And if done correctly, it should sound like this. As in the word oh, for if. Now, of course, I enunciated a little bit, and if you were speaking in a quick, casual pace, it wouldn't be quite as enunciated, but it's very important to enunciate because it is not just toe. It's not a toe. It's not what's on your foot. It's actually, there is a distinction, and it's very important that you emphasize until you can do it easily and just incorporate it in. Now, the next sound is the KX. Now, the KX is one of my favorite, and of course, it's probably the most reviewed in the movie because of the word for moron. And again, we're going to practice emphasizing this. Now, how I do this is I put the tip of my tongue, I push it against my bottom teeth, and I let the sides of my tongue rest back in between my upper and lower teeth, and I open my mouth pretty wide, close my throat, and then I make a K sound, but you really want it to come out as a click. And if you do it correctly, it should sound like this. As in sk-ong, sk-ong. Or, of course, if you emphasize a little less, sk-ong. But, and again, that was still pretty emphatical, but I don't want you guys to mistake it and think I'm just saying scown, because that is not correct, and that is a big mistake. I would equivocate that to gringo, to the Spanish language, so don't be doing that. And the last ejective, which is probably my favorite, is the PX sound. Now, the PX sound is hard to explain, and I can't be 100% sure on how this one sounds because there aren't a lot of great examples of it. I've watched the movie several times. I haven't heard like real great examples, and also it is in the game, which unfortunately I have not been able to play yet, and I apologize for the profanic word that I'm about to use in Navi, but you might not even know it, so it might not even affect you. But regardless, the P sound is formed by closing your lips and your throat. Then you're going to open your lips slightly and force the air out as hard as you can, making a kind of a smack of the lips motion, but instead of making that sound, it's going to make more of like a beatboxy noise, because it's not made by opening your lips, it's made by that air forcing through. You really eject the sound. That's where the word ejective comes from. And that sounds like this when done correctly. And of course, it's a little bit, especially at the beginning, I emphasized a little too much maybe, and it sounded a little bit more like I was doing a raspberry, but that's not the sound. It's just that, as in the word asik, 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 asik. Now, as you can see, I still stutter over these a little bit, and if you were using a phrase with these ejectives in it, I would definitely recommend practicing it, because it does, it takes a while. But as far as using them, they're difficult, but I think I mean it took me a while to learn them, but once you start getting in the hang of it, it's not too bad. And also, I do want to note at the end of this video, because otherwise I'm going to get a whole bunch of angry comments, this isn't like for certain. This is what I'm pretty sure the T and the K sound are correct, and I think the P sound's correct. It's just what I've kind of deduced. But like I said, if any of those sounds is wrong, please by all means send me a video response, telling me why it's wrong and how to make that sound, because obviously this is not a super developed language, and we would love to all know this better. So please join my channel. Thank you for listening to my lesson on ejectives, and hopefully I'll have more lessons up later. And for now, Ewa Ngahu.